And one of the things is, which
David Beckham stood at the edge of the sprawling garden in the Cotswolds estate, gazing toward the sunset with a sense of unease pressing on his chest. It had been weeks since he'd felt fully at ease around Victoria. Something was different. Her hugs lingered less, her laugh didn't light up the room like it used to, and her late-night phone calls had become more frequent and mysterious. Still, he tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was work. Maybe it was just another phase of marriage. They'd been through rougher patches before, but this time felt different. It began one Thursday afternoon. David had returned early from a filming session for a Netflix documentary and decided to surprise Victoria with a lunch date. As he walked through the house, calling her name, he heard hushed voices in the studio she used for her fashion sketches. Curious, he stepped closer, but as he opened the door, the voices stopped. Victoria stood alone, startled, as if she had just closed a secret passage behind her. "You're home early," she said, tucking her phone into a sketchbook. "Yeah, thought I'd steer you away for the afternoon," he smiled. She nodded, but her eyes were distant. "Give me 10 minutes. I just need to finish something." David left, but something gnawed at him. That night, as she slept beside him, he quietly reached into her sketchbook. Inside was more than just fabric swatches and runway plans. Tucked between pages was a photo, a grainy black and white image of a much younger Victoria, standing outside what looked like a weathered old pub with a child next to her. The photo was dated 1996. His heart began to race. That was the year they had first met. But in this photo, she looked far older than she should have been, and the boy looked familiar. Unable to sleep, David took the photo to his private office, pulled out an old laptop, and began doing something he never thought he'd do: investigate his wife. The next few days were a blow of digging into Victoria's past. Her childhood, her early Spice Girls years, and even her interviews. Everything seemed clean, curated, too clean. There were inconsistencies in timelines. Mentions of a gap year that was never discussed. A small period in 1996 when she supposedly disappeared to find creative inspiration in Italy. Yet there were no photos, no press sightings, and no confirmed travels. Then came the breakthrough. An anonymous email hit David's inbox with the subject line, "You deserve the truth." Attached was a video, security camera footage from a modest little home in a town called Alfriston, Sussex. The date was recent. Victoria was seen entering the house, hugging an older woman, then disappearing into a back room. Minutes later, a young man walked out. David stared at the screen, heart pounding. It was like looking into a mirror from 25 years ago. He confronted Victoria that evening. "Who is he?" he asked, holding up the paused video. Victoria froze. "David, it's not what you think." "Then tell me what it is." She sat down, suddenly looking 10 years older. "Before you and I met, I had a son. I was only 21. The father disappeared, and I was scared. I gave him up for adoption and swore never to speak of it again. No one knew, not my parents, not the girls, not even management. I buried it so deep, even I convinced myself it didn't happen." David was speechless. "But lately," she continued, "he found me. His name is Callum. He's 27 now. And he wanted to know who I was. I met him, but I didn't know how to tell you. I didn't want you to think I lied." He looked at her, emotions roiling inside. Shock, betrayal, sadness, awe. "I'd wish you'd told me. I was scared you'd leave." "Vic," he said softly, "you're the only person I'd never leave." The weeks that followed were chaotic. The media somehow caught wind of Callum's existence, and the Beckham family was thrust into a hurricane of rumors and headlines. Harper was confused, Brooklyn demanded answers, and Romeo and Cruz were quiet, absorbing it all. Callum, to his credit, remained respectful. He didn't want fame or money. He just wanted to know of his mother. David met him in private. The two talked for hours, about football, about music, about what it means to grow up in the shadow of fame, even unknowingly. "You look just like me at your age," David chuckled. "Mum says I have a sarcasm, though," Callum replied. They laughed. It wasn't instant, but over time, a bond formed. Then came the U-turn. Victoria received a letter. It was from Callum's biological father. He had seen the news. He was a businessman now, married with 2 kids, and wanted nothing to do with the public spotlight. But he did want to meet Victoria again. Not to rekindle anything, but to offer closure. David encouraged her to go. "You need peace too," he said. She traveled to a quiet cafe in Bath, where a graying man named Simon waited. They talked. He apologized. She forgave. But when she returned, she was distant again. David noticed it. "What's wrong?"